us what we are reading this week, or month, whatever it is.
So, in honor of February, we decided to step way out of our comfort zones and read something from the romance genre.
Whoa, yay, hooray.
You act like this wasn't a mutual decision.
You can't prove that.
So, specifically, we decided to pick a subgenre within romance, and we went with romantasy, which is what it sounds like, a romance story on a fantasy backdrop.
There's smooching and dragons, baby.
That's it. It's wildly popular on Book Talk if you spend any time on that side of the internet. Neither of us do.
No.
But we've heard of it.
Neither of us have TikTok to begin with.
Shh, those videos travel. You know this. So we selected one that has been wildly popular. And also, if you Google romantasy, the genre, this will be one of the very first books that pops up. We clearly did not dig much deeper than this. A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. And I will read the summary on the back for those of you who are not familiar with this wildly popular best-selling series. When 19-year-old huntress Feyre kills a wolf in the woods, a terrifying creature arrives to demand retribution. Dragged to a treacherous magical land she knows about only from legends, Feyre discovers that her captor is not truly a beast, but one of the lethal, immortal fairies who once ruled her world. At least, he's not a beast all the time. As she adapts to her new home, her feelings for the fairy, Tamlin, transform from icy hostility into a fiery passion that burns through every lie she's been told about the beautiful, dangerous world of the Fae. But something is not right in the fairylands. An ancient, wicked shadow is growing, and Feyre must find a way to stop it, or doom Tamlin and his world forever.
That's what the back of the book says?
Yeah, did you not read it?
No!
I mean, me neither. I went in completely blind.
Oh. Yes, definitely all of those things happen in the book, for sure. It doesn't lie to its audience at all. And I had a great time reading it, and it was so fun.
I thought we were going to start off trying to be positive.
You're right. You're right. We're being positive.
So, number one, the cover's nice.
The cover is nice. We do
I'm
like to judge a book by a cover here. Fully believe that the cover of a book tells a lot about the book. And I do really like the cover of this book.
I'm sure there are multiple editions. I don't entirely know which one this is. I'm trying to find it. It's the one that was first published in the US in 2015. Oh, wait. Hang on. This edition was published in 2020. It's the one that's like orange and has kind of a dragony looking wolf thing with an arrow in its neck.
Mm-hmm. It gives very, like, I want to say, like, English folklore vibes.
Yes, that is exactly it.
And it is a very good cover.
Mm-hmm.
Other positive things?
Hang on. Let me scroll through my,
So, okay, disclaimer. We do want to come at this with genuine positivity.
Yes.
We do fully believe if this is the kind of thing you like, absolutely read it. If this is the kind of thing you want to write. Sarah J. Maas, props to you. We've never written a book. I'm sure it's hard. Was not a fan of yours. I'm sorry.
Okay, I would also say, like, for context, me personally, I have come off of reading both some heavy fantasy and some heavy historical fiction in that I was just finishing the third book in Scott Lynch's The Gentleman Bastard series. So I've got that.
Gosh, dang it. Now we got to mark this as explicit.
And then I also have I'm almost to the tail end, like page 900, whatever, in the third Outlander book. So I've got two very complex, slow moving stories that I'm coming from. This was different.
And I am coming off of reading the Night Lords trilogy, which is a Warhammer book, which is very different from romance. There is no romance. There is just suffering, which was also me reading this book. So that's we did come into it. Neither of us are huge romance readers.
I've read a few romance. Outlander is technically a romance. I'm not there for that.
I do have to listen to her get mad when she gets to a sexy scene in Outlander. Because get back to my historical fiction.
Yes, I'm like, I was here to learn about like medical techniques in the 17th century. How dare you have sex with your husband right now?
So yeah, those were kind of our initial thoughts coming straight into the book. Should we go ahead and hop into the story and
Absolutely.
see what were we thinking? So it opens, we start out with the main character, Feyre, not spelled in any way that would make sense, which is fine. It's fantasy. I get it.
I was going to say, half the time you're reading fantasy, you're not pronouncing those names out loud.
Absolutely not.
You're just like, it's so-and-so.
Yeah.
Their name starts with a G. I know that.
It starts with a G and it sounds evil.
Exactly.
And she is very poor with her family in a very sad, very, as most YA novel heroines are, bad at everything and very skinny and just clumsy except at any form of combat.
Okay. Not any form of combat. She has taught herself archery and hunting.
That's fair.
To keep her family alive, because as it is emphasized, her sisters are useless and are only interested in, like, you know, tropes of female frippery, and her dad is this crouching, cowering loser. So it's all on her, and she stepped up and made sure her family doesn't die.
And one day when she's out hunting, she fires an arrow and hits a wolf. She hunts down a wolf, skins it, and sells its pelt. Turns out this wolf was a fairy. So after she has sold this pelt, another fairy comes hunting her down, saying, "You have to come live with me in the fairy realm or die."
Because there's, like, a contract that was signed, like, forever ago and has fallen into legend, and, like...
They do emphasize the entire book about how there was this war between fairies and humans, but you never really see any evidence of it whatsoever.
I mean, maybe... It is a series. Maybe they'll get into that later on.
That is valid.
But in this book, it is only said, like, it happened forever ago. Everybody on the human side is still super freaked out. And they have all these, like, little tokens that they try to do to protect themselves, wearing iron bracelets or carving these, you know, oh my gosh, little carvings, tokens, words into around. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Totems that will protect them from Fae.
Yeah, it is very folklore inspired, and I do appreciate that about the book. I would assume specifically, like, I don't know, is it English folklore? Like,
I have not read enough folklore.
Me either. We're not nerdy enough, apparently. So yeah, with the first, we kind of are splitting this up into first half, second half of the book, just to help with, so we don't spoil it for you if you want to read this book. What were your thoughts going into the first half of this book?
I started off real strong, going, I hate it, when I was about a paragraph in.
Really?
And that was just because I feel like every kind of... This is technically young adult romantasy.
Right.
Or that it's kind of like a new, like, in between young adult and truly adult is the new adult or whatever. It's for those 20-somethings where it's, you're not really a kid. Our protagonist is 19 and she can have sex with people and swear.
Right.
But sometimes they still get shelved in the young adult section. Sometimes they get shelved in the library.
That's a weird genre to me because it does, and I don't want to sound too pretentious here.
Go for it.
And this is something I'll get once we get into the latter half of the book, but it does feel very much written at a high school level, which isn't necessarily a bad thing per se. I don't think it is very fluffy. It's not a hard read.
It's It is cotton candy.
Yes.
If you are looking for cotton candy, this is a great choice.
Correct. I don't like cotton candy.
We personally do not gravitate towards cotton candy books.
Mhm.
At least not in our fantasy.
No. Not particularly.
No, because we end up complaining and going, okay, but where do you get your food from? You haven't talked about the money system. I need to know.
Right.
What are the coins?
We are those weirdos who love when we have 2 pages describing how the economy works in our fantasy kingdoms.
Yes, and if you don't, I'm going to sit there the whole book going, but where's the food come from?
Sure. And
who's repairing the fences? Like, I'm going to think about that stuff.
For sure. Feyre gets taken by this fairy who... Was it Tamlin who found her, right?
Yes.
Okay. Tamlin, in the form of a wolf, comes and finds her, takes her back to his estate, and says, Prydain is not safe for you. You have to stay in my manor. And she is very resentful of Tamlin. She does not want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's your standard enemies to lovers, which isn't really...
It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling.
It is, very much so.
Yeah. Which is not my favorite Disney movie. That's irrelevant. That is irrelevant. That is truly irrelevant.
It is way less Stockholm Syndrome-y than Beauty and the Beast, though. I don't think it's as bad as...
That's good.
It's not as creepy.
I was initially put off because I felt like the writing, it reads like any other young adult novel to me. Which is not to say that there are not some very wonderful young adult novels, but there is a specific tone to the writing that kind of annoys me after a while.
For sure. So, did you go into the book expecting to dislike it?
Yes. Mainly because we had chosen this book and we had decided, we'd told a few friends about the podcast as an idea. And every single one, when we told them what book we picked to go first, we're like, ha, you're going to hate that.
Correct.
And I'm
multiple people for both of us have said we're going to hate this book. And there are positives. There are, I promise. You're giving me a look. I'm the one being more positive about it, even though I came out the gate hating.
I know. All right, continue on.
So, there are some interesting things. I don't think, when I know we've talked about this before personally, is not everything about your fantasy world needs to be revealed.
True.
And one of the things I think is great that wasn't revealed for a long time is why Tamlin just wanted her there. Mm-hmm. Why he wanted to actually physically take her back to Prydain, versus just killing her out of revenge if these fairies are so cruel and hideous as the mortals believe they are.
Yes. That was not revealed until at least, I don't know, 3/4 of the way through the book?
It wasn't until the latter half, for sure.
So we can't tell you that right now.
We can't.
We have to talk about the first half of the book.
Where she goes to this manor, she has some snarky dialogue. It's very basic snarky dialogue. I'm sorry. There was nothing that stuck out to me specifically dialogue. Oh no, there's something you thought. We don't need to nitpick the writing style. I feel like that can be a bit mean.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just reviewing my notes and trying to decide, because some of this is also me just emotionally reacting to specific things and being like, yes, of course this happened. Eye roll. Emotional eye roll.
Yes. One of my notes I did have down here, I just want to point it out, is it was very pointedly in the first chapter or two of the book. They did the very standard YA, I'm not like normal girls, I wear pants. So,
I will say that did kind of annoy me, because you've set up your character as she is, I wouldn't say a badass, but she has more, I don't know, a less traditionally feminine perspective. Yes. And, she's a hunter. She doesn't want to wear a dress because she can't move freely, which I'm like, that doesn't really translate. But it's very tropey in my mind, rather than...
I will say, that's
authentic.
Not a trope I entirely hate. I don't hate, when you are setting this character up as she has been taking care of, like, the sole provider for her family for a while.
Yeah.
It is natural that she would become more headstrong, more, tougher, and...
Never listen to anyone's advice ever outside of her own self.
But again, okay, she has been raised as, it's revealed later in the book, her mom died when she was 11. She's 19 now, so she has been the only one providing for her family.
That's true.
Since she was 11, so that's... What, 8 years?
Yes.
Which would be unfair to a child.
Yes.
So yes, she would think, I know everything. I know what is right. What?
You're not wrong. It just bothers me.
I get it.
It bothers me. It makes sense now that you explain that, but it bothers me because there are moments in the story, like repeatedly, where it feels like she is being stubborn and or stupid, not genuinely, but in a way that is just there to move the story along. Like, for instance, there is a moment where early on when she is in this mansion in the Fey lands and whatever, that she looks out and sees her crippled father outside and is just like all in, jump out the window, run, follow this illusion, it turns out. Mm-hmm. And I look at that and I'm like, I understand emotionally what was trying to be done, but it just feels like she's too stupid, especially when she has been told that there are like things that she can't believe, or that like there's all these things out there that can harm you, and like there's ones that she literally can't even see, or like that aren't visible to her human senses,
right? And
I'm just like, your crippled father traveled multiple days,
of course, and
showed up, and you fell for it like that.
Yes.
Those are the instances where I'm like, I feel like that is not... I feel like she would be shrewder than that, having spent 8 years providing for her family.
Providing for her family by stalking things through the woods, where surely she would be, like...
Yes.
At some point, some dangerous beast would have snuck up on her. Like, she should know.
You would think, yes. But...
She should know the dangers of the wilds.
But yes. Mm-hmm. That aside... I will say I did have a moment in the midst of reading this where I was trying to reflect a little bit myself and wonder, was I having such an adverse reaction to this book because I have pretty much exclusively read fantasy that is written by male authors and usually with a male protagonist? So that's like the lens that I'm used to having all of my fantasy adventures through. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, is this just, like, internalized misogyny?
Sure.
And, like, am I just not used to having, like, feminine thoughts and feelings and all of that? There's probably a thread of that, but it's...
Sure.
There's more than that going on here.
One of the things I thought of while reading this is because Tamlin is also thousands and thousands of years old. Right?
At least several hundred.
Yeah,
he's old.
Which, okay, and you and I have talked about this, but the weird, like, pedophilic themes in science fiction and fantasy written by male authors, right, we've talked about that.
Yes.
It's especially in, like, 80s, 90s sci-fi, it's real weird.
Yes.
Like, it is uncomfortable. But we flip around to what these fantasies written by female authors... And I think specifically of this and something like Twilight, because this is also very Twilight coded.
Yes.
That those pedophilic themes go both ways, it seems. But it seems like on average, the female fantasy version of it is there's a 100-some-odd-year-old guy who's super into you for some reason.
I mean, the obvious joke here is probably to say something about like the maturity of men.
That's fair.
But...
Or daddy issues.
Yes. Is Tamlin the ultimate sugar daddy?
Yeah. By the end, yeah.
Sorry. We should stick to the... No spoilers.
No spoilers. Yet. largely the first half of this book is just following her daily life around the manor
as she's slowly overcoming her prejudices
yes, those
towards the Fae, and kind of learning to relax a bit, kind of like for the first time in years, because she doesn't have all this pressure and responsibility and, like, you know, actual survival on the forefront of her mind. She's in the lap of luxury with everything she could possibly want, and she's finally, like, rediscovering her one and only hobby besides killing things, which is painting.
She's only allowed one hobby.
No, that's how you make a well-rounded character. They have, like,
They have one thing.
They have one hobby
she has
to make.
two things. She has hunting and painting.
I'm sorry, I'm being too negative.
She is, by definition, multi-dimensional.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yes, all of this is happening. She is slowly learning more. She learns about this, quote, blight upon the land that is sapping the magic. We should also probably review the map at some point, which I will admit, when I looked at it, because every good fantasy book has a map at the beginning of varying,
if not more than one.
Multiple pages is when you know you've hit a good book.
Yes. Give us our maps.
But I will say,
hold on. I want to. Did you look at that? Though I just took a glance at it, and my first thought was that's just England.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like
I did look at it and think the same thing.
It's England. There's Ireland. Like,
I also looked at it and was like, "This is dumb," because I was okay. Hold up. Most of the visible map is fairy lands that are, like, divided into all these different courts. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. I'm like, okay, cool. We got, like, a seasons thing going on. And then it's like the dawn court, the day court, the night court. I'm just like,
she needed a reason to get to 7.
I understand, but I also found it frustrating, and maybe I'm being too harsh, and maybe this is explained in book 2 or 3 or whatever. It annoyed me.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's we do like our maps here. We love our fantasy maps.
And every fantasy book, there are other books that I've looked at maps and been like, that looks dumb.
Yeah.
But this one really didn't make sense to me.
It is an odd map.
And even reading the story, it also still didn't make sense to me why it was divided the way it was divided.
Right.
That's all. Maybe I missed something.
I don't know, man. I didn't find anything either.
Cool. Would you like me to say another negative thing that's just kind of general overall about this book?
Well, I was going to say, do we want to move on specifically to our main character, like, to talking about...
We should!
We can talk about, like, Tamlin and Lucian.
Okay.
Is that how you say it? Lucian, I'm assuming?
I said Lucian.
Cool.
If we're wrong, please, fans, do not hate us.
That's fine. You can. They're going to hate us anyways after this.
Okay.
So we have our protagonist, Feyre. We also have Tamlin, her 100-year-old lover. Well, not yet. They're not lovers yet, guys.
But come on.
We know what's going to happen.
Again, Beauty and the Beast retelling.
Yes.
It's foreshadowed.
So Feyre, to me, she fell into bland protagonist problems where I never knew exactly what emotion she was feeling.
Dude, I literally wrote down the word bland as one of the descriptors.
Nice.
I actually said that she is a bland Bella Swan protagonist who attempts to be Katniss Everdeen.
Correct. That is exactly it.
She is given exactly one shortcoming and one personal interest, because that is how you make a well-rounded character. Mm-hmm. Her shortcoming, we already talked about her hobby, but her shortcoming being that she's illiterate.
Yes, she cannot read.
Mm-hmm. Kind of.
Which does not come up. It comes up one time, and then it comes up at the very end of the book.
Yes. So clearly, reading is not important.
Not that important.
And what are we doing here? Yeah, she, as a character, I feel like this is a very harsh thing to say, but I felt she was a result of a really bad writing workshop where they just tell you here's your traits. You kind of just pick traits off of a list, and then, they need to have you know, these things that they're bad at and these things that they're good at, and you just kind of like tack them on and make them boom, it's a well-rounded character now.
Sure.
It felt like a recipe.
It did.
Not like she doesn't feel like a real person.
For sure. Tamlin, her Fae savior, is just kind of mopey.
I said he's fine.
He is also bland, though. That's the problem.
See, but he was an interesting, like, division of things, because in some ways, I think he is an expression of one female fantasy, which is he's these extremes of, it's basically, if you want to be both cherished and dominated, Tamlin.
That's fair.
Like, he can be violent and moody, and he can also be really sweet and caring.
Yes. Yeah. He's got some neat powers. He can transform into a wolf. It's established that he doesn't want to be the High Lord of the Spring Court.
Yeah.
But it just kind of happened.
It was thrust upon him.
How was it thrust upon him, you might say? Because he just got too good. He got too good, and they said, "You're king." Is that not what happened? Is that not exactly what they explained?
That's
he
a
got
summary.
Too powerful, so he became the High Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. He just got too powerful. He got too good at punching.
Is the Fae lands the ultimate merit-based society?
No. The Fae are just Warhammer orcs. Because their leaders are the biggest and the strongest.
No, we're going to go back to characters.
Okay,
and we're going to talk about Lucian.
Or is it Lucian?
Lucian, I don't know.
I'm going to say Lucian.
All right, Lucian. That sounds better. She had better chemistry with Lucian than she did with Tamlin.
100%.
I said what I said.
It's true. And Lucian is also kind of bland.
I'm also not going to lie. I did spend the first half of the book wondering if Tamlin and Lucian were a thing.
I was hoping.
I was they're lovers on the down low.
We'll know who I want Tamlin to get down with by the end of the book. I'm here for it. One more. We forgot Tamlin's most important character trait. He has a baldric.
What is a baldric, you ask?
We had to look it up, too.
No, you had to look it up. I knew what it was. I had a suspicion.
Don't listen to her. She didn't. She had a suspicion of what it was.
And I was correct.
Because I Googled it and said yes. So, anyway, a baldric, it's a knife belt kind of thing that goes across your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's his defining trait.
No. It's also that he is golden-haired. That is used, and sun-kissed. These are used multiple times to describe his physical form.
I remember golden-haired. I don't remember sun-kissed.
I remember sun-kissed because you read it out loud and went, "Oh, did you know this about him? He's slightly tan."
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because that's something that's established, like, halfway through the book.
But this is something that, like, really bothers me about it being a Beauty and the Beast retelling, roughly inspired, whatever.
Sure.
There's no ugly exterior for her to look past.
No.
He's not in his beast form all the time. He's only occasionally in his beast form. The rest of the time, he's beautiful and described with things like sun-kissed and golden-haired. And the only, like...
Oh, and he's got muscles.
And he's got muscle. Oh, yeah. There's a lot about his muscles. The ones in his back and his chest and his arms. It's, like, constant. So he's got muscles. And he dresses nice. The only thing is that they all have these, like, beautiful jewel-encrusted masks that they can't take off because they were going to a masquerade when the blight occurred and messed up their magic. And so that's why he's ugly.
Apparently.
But that's like the entire point of Beauty and the Beast is that she had to look past the like ugly exterior and like overcome all these. I will just let it go. It's not a direct retelling.
It's not.
But why would you not trap him in his beast form if you were trying to tell this story?
Because she's not a furry.
We don't know. Book 2, we didn't get there.
That's true. So along with Tamlin, he also has an emissary that goes to various other of these courts.
The aforementioned Lucian.
Who
has red hair.
Yes, and a fox mask and a mechanical eye, and the entire time I was reading the book, I'm trying to figure out how the mechanical eye under the fox mask worked.
Oh, yeah.
Because they talk about both the fox mask and the mechanical eye constantly.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, I just didn't picture him with a mask. I focused on the mechanical eye.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, I just really spent the whole book going, okay, Lucian, are you just like an incorrigible flirt and like
Yes.
just like the slut of the book?
Yes.
Or okay. Never mind. Problem solved.
Yeah,
Continue on.
No, he's fine. He really doesn't do much. He rescues Feyre, doesn't he? No, he never does.
He provides all of the chemistry and fun conversation.
Yes, because it is
for like the most of the book.
Yeah, it is rather awkward between Tamlin and Feyre, which works when you're doing. They're awkward, but they're never like at each other's throats. They're never truly enemies.
No.
So it's hard.
They're enemies in the sense of like she's human and he's Fae, and so like their people are like she hates his kind and that in that sense.
Right.
But I don't know. I never got anything from them outside of they think each other are hot.
Yeah. That's about it.
But anytime she had, not that she never had conversations with Tamlin, I just thought that they were lackluster for the most part.
For sure.
They definitely did not establish a romance in my mind.
No, not at all. And I'm not gonna, for the first few chapters that she was in Prydain, I didn't know if she was supposed to be romancing Lucian or Tamlin.
Oh, I knew which one she was supposed to be, and I was just like, I don't.
Sure.
I also, again, briefly for a moment was like, okay, you're after Tamlin. Mm-hmm. That's who you're like obviously destined to end up with in this book. But also, are we sure that Lucian and Tamlin aren't a thing? Because I don't know. And maybe that's just my bias.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, and gonna be honest, that's about all that happens in the first half of the book.
There's some minor run-ins with things. There's like a party where she drinks fairy wine and dances, and there's
oh yeah, and then Tamlin almost rapes her.
No, that's at Fire Night.
Isn't that the party?
No, there's a different party. That's like the spring party.
Wait, what happened first? Fire Night or
Fire Night happened first.
Yeah,
where they were like, there's this really important sacred night called Fire Night.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because
and you're not allowed to come, and everybody else is gonna be there, but you're not allowed to come. You need to stay in the house and like lock all the doors
because it's super dangerous and you'll die. And you know what she does?
Again, I want to talk about her being stubborn and kind of an idiot.
So
she couldn't not. And okay, I will say with this particular one, maybe there was a magical element.
Sure.
Because she did talk about like the drums like calling her and stuff. So maybe there's a magical element and she just couldn't resist the lure.
It's that magical element of being horny.
So she shows up to the party.
And she meets Badman McGee.
Who...
She gets rescued from these other fairies who want to eat her by Badman McGee. And you know he's the bad boy because he's got dark hair.
Yeah, and like wears all black.
Yeah.
And is the most beautiful man she's ever seen in her life.
Which is the exact line that is used to describe him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets... Badman McGee says, hey, come with me to the secondary location. And the only time she makes a smart decision this entire book is when she says, no, sir, I will not go with you to a secondary location.
And then Lucian shows up and is like, what the hell? Why are you here? We told you. And then
you don't understand.
And
then tonight, Tamlin gets uber horny.
And it's a ritual. And he's the hunter. And he has to find the maiden.
Capital H hunter.
Yes, capital M maiden. And then they have to, yeah, you know. And that's like to herald the coming of spring, and it like re-injects magic into their land and whatever. Anyway, so Lucian grabs her and is like, yo, what are you doing here? And then just like bodily picks her up and like Twilight vampire runs her back to the mansion. Seriously, she genuinely talks about like how fast, and I just pictured the movies of the vampires like running through the woods awkwardly fast.
Spider monkey.
So then she goes into her room and locks the door and is chilling and is like, yeah, that was a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then she decides that she wants a snack. And, which, been there, understand, but also, my girl, you should have planned ahead. So she leaves, and she gets a cookie, and we only know this because then Tamlin shows up.
I didn't remember she got a cookie. I just remember the Tamlin part.
No, because he grabs her wrists and like pins her to the wall, and she drops the cookie. I wrote it down because I died laughing. I was just like, I don't think this is the reaction I'm supposed to be having to this scene.
No. So Tamlin basically almost rapes her. Then, because the beast is in control or whatever.
The hunter.
And he smelled her. And he had to hunt her down, but couldn't find her.
Yes.
And then the next day, she decides she is madly in love with Tamlin.
Yeah.
It is on a dime switch. It is...
Because she shows up to breakfast with, like, a big ol' hickey on her neck, and Lucian is like, what?
Like, Lucian can't put two and two together.
Yeah, we know.
And this kind of... This is like the halfway point, isn't it?
This is the halfway point. This is when it starts into more of a romance.
Yes.
You know, Tamlin takes her to like a childhood swimming hole. There's like another light-hearted fairy dance spring party thing where he busts out his fiddle because that's his hobby.
Yep.
Is that he plays music and they dance and she drinks fairy wine and yeah.
And then because they go out. Okay, because we are just now getting to kind of the spoiler area.
We haven't spoiled things already.
That's fair. But like, this is all
we are
stuff,
progressing farther into the book.
Yes. What was it you just said? I had a point and I had to look at my notes.
I was talking about the fairy dance and wine and...
So this is something that really annoys me with like romance books, from what I understand, even though this is like the first actual true romance I've read. Is I don't, because they go out and dance around these will-o'-the-wisps, and it's this whole pretty little night thing, and it's magical.
Yes.
And I understand that, but I love romance as a plot point.
Mm-hmm.
But show me a romance that I don't want a romance where everything is perfect and beautiful. I want a romance that persists despite the horrors of the world. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
They don't have, like, every single time they're interacting with each other, it's this magical moment, which isn't how that works at all.
This is a female-oriented fantasy?
I know, but give some kind of drama at least. There is no drama. Like, nothing has happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's just her going to fairy parties and getting drunk. And them saying, hey, don't get drunk. And then she gets drunk.
There's other things, like, he finds out she wants to paint. And so he gets her all the stuff and, like, gives her a whole room so that she can rediscover her favorite hobby. And shows her, like, the galleries that he had closed off in the mansion. Which is kind of symbolic of, like, him and his emotional state. And
also, this is titled A Court of Thorn and Roses. And we have not seen neither a court, thorns, or roses so far.
There is a court. We're in the spring court.
Yeah, but they don't do any courtly things.
I will agree with you, though. Like, the Thorns and Roses thing is kind of irrelevant. The title just sounds cool.
Yeah.
The Thorns and Roses are not integral to the plot.
No.
To the point that I kind of forgot the name of the book.
But then I remembered when she's like, oh, you love me even though I'm all thorns.
Okay, that's another thing I would really like to bring up about Feyre. How much she hates on herself.
And the entire human race. She is constantly like, her inner monologue is, stupid, pathetic, weak little human. Insignificant, little, weak, pathetic human. And it's like, girl, relax.
I understand, like, if you're surrounded by fae people, you might feel ugly, insignificant,
Sure.
whatever. But also, it did get a little monotonous.
It did. I also want to note that it is marked, and I did check this look to make sure the page count was actually physically halfway through the book. And halfway through the book is marked by Feyre getting an ass. Very pointedly, she makes a point of noticing how curvy she's become.
Oh, yeah, because again, she was, like, emaciated because she was, like, barely surviving. It was the winter with her family. I remember that scene and me being like...
That's how you know it's the second half of the book.
She got some meat on those bones.
She got that dumpy.
The curves in all the right places.
Oh, God. I hate it. And so after the party, where she dances among the will-o'-the-wisps, they do find the head of another high fae just impaled on a fountain.
Yeah, in the courtyard.
Not of their court, like just a complete stranger.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, like, specifically with that, I wanted to point out that they keep acting as if these high fae are, like, brutal and horrible and terrorizing, and they just cause so much pain and suffering. But they don't show us any of that. We can get to that. We'll get to that when we get there, because I know what you're thinking.
No, I was thinking that if this book was marketed towards men, you would have all of that. And because it's marketed towards women, we're just going to talk about it and we're not going to show it because this is supposed to be light and fun and fluffy and that's sexy.
Fine. But then don't talk about how brutal everything is. It's okay if your fantasy world is not brutal and grimdark.
That's true.
Don't talk about it all the time if you're just going to be like, oh yeah, but it's magically, we don't see it.
That's fair. There are hints of things that are bad several times. Like she chases after this one fae folk that the surreal is how I said it. That can basically, like, you can ask any question and they can't lie.
Right.
They have to tell you the truth. So she traps them. Super easy. Done. And then these other fairy people.
The Naga.
Thank you. I completely forgot their name. They come after her. So, like, there are threats, definitely,
for sure,
of violence. There are creatures that Tamlin is going out some of the nights in a beast form to like fight things, and comes back, you know, like drenched in blood and stuff. Like there's like a hurt comfort scene in there for all the people that love that. But you're right, it's not front and center.
It doesn't even have to be front and center. Just
you want to
show, don't tell. This is like 5th grade writing.
I know.
Okay, it annoys me.
I know.
I also want to point out that it is about halfway through the book is when I fully decided that I really hate this book. No, and the reason, because I can, like, it's like we said, it's cotton candy. If you want to read something light, nonsensical cotton candy, that is great. Read this book. It's a fun time.
Yes.
But my problem with this book specifically, and this happened because we should say, so it turns out that this high fae head that was impaled was put there by the Night Court, right? Yeah,
it was put there by the bad boy.
Well, that's not revealed yet, is it?
Oh, oops, sorry.
That's fine.
Forget.
But we know it was put there by Bad Boy McGee, Bad Boy McBadman.
You don't like his name, do you?
I don't know what his name is, bro.
Rysand? Or I don't know how to say it.
Bad Boy McBadman.
Okay.
That's who he is.
Yes, but he's hot.
Yeah, why would Bad Boy McBadman not be hot?
Oh, you're right.
Every good villain should be hot.
I pictured him in a leather jacket, and I know that is not true.
Oh, yeah. They're talking about this, and they keep talking about her. And they talk about Bad Boy McBadman, and how, you know, they call him, like, her whore or something like that. And...
Wait, who's...
Bad Boy McBadman is... Because it's just her now.
Yes, there is an unnamed amorphous her.
Right.
That she has figured out from overheard conversations is the big bad.
And they have this habit of whenever some kind of information is dropped about Prydain and the politics and stuff, there should be questions. The audience should ask questions.
Yes.
And it is okay if your protagonist is asking questions to help the audience ask those questions. The problem is Feyre asks the stupidest, dumbest, bullshit questions that have the most obvious answers on it in a way to say, oh, hey, look, audience, I know you're too stupid to be like, oh, she works with the Night Court? They're connected? Because there's a point where Feyre straight up said in one of her little thought question things is, I wonder if she is connected to the Night Court. And it's like, no shit, dumbass. Oh, and it infuriated. Do not talk down to your audience. And I felt talked down to this entire book.
I can't disagree with you.
Don't treat me like a moron while I'm reading your book.
I wanted to know more about the Fae world.
Mm-hmm.
I was very intrigued. I also had questions that, like, again, maybe this stuff gets answered in book 2, but, like, okay, like, what is the religion of your world? Because you talk about heaven and hell, but you also talk about the cauldron. Like, a lot of your swearing is around, like, by the cauldron. And I'm like, okay, explain to me. What is the origins of your world? What faith practices exist? I want to understand. Tell me more. And I know that's, again, me coming from the things that I typically read.
Which is fair.
Anyway.
This is not our taste of book, as is obvious.
So she's fallen in love. I should say, they have fallen in love. They have sexy times, all of this. Then it's like, he has to send her away because things are getting too bad. I wrote down quotes because they annoyed me. The conversation that they have is basically her going, you're sending me away because I'm useless in a fight. And then he's like...
And he goes, yes.
No. He goes, no, I'm sending you away because it makes me sick to think of you in their hands.
This does happen because Bad Boy McBadman did show up.
Yes, and threaten her.
He threatened her that he was going to snitch on him to her.
The unnamed her.
The unnamed her, which I believe she's still unnamed at this point.
Probably. Anyway, he gets, like, Tamlin to, like, lick his boots and whatnot.
Physically lick his boots.
And then she's all sad, and then Tamlin's like, you gotta go. And sends her back across. We didn't cover this. There's an invisible wall that separates the fairy lands from the mortal lands, but there's, like, a few holes in it. So he sends her back. Also, by the way, part of him winning her over was the fact that he used a glamour on her family so that, and gave them a bunch of money. So, like, they are out of poverty. They believe that she's off helping a sick aunt. You know, everything's cool. They're not worried. Life is looking up. So she is sent back in this, like, golden carriage to their new estate that they live on. And she finds, you know, her father, his previous business issues that ships sank and whatever, and then were lost, and those have returned, and all of their wealth has returned. Her one sister has a garden and loves it, and then her other sister was not affected by the glamour. At all. Because she has such a strong mind.
Gosh, shut up. I hate it. I will say, I was okay with that part of it. Like, I am glad one of her family was not. I think the reasoning is stupid. That it's just she has a strong mind. Which, there have been magic systems that I love that are purely based off of force of will.
Yes.
But it's established that that's how it works.
Yes.
It's not, we have magic fairy powers that just work except when we don't need them to work.
I think that was honestly a lot of my problems with this book, was that I was interested in the world, but the world building was inconsistent or just lacking.
For sure.
And again, part of that is it's meant to be fluffy and fun.
Yeah.
And I'm ruining it because I'm not just relaxing and having fun.
Because
I can't have fun.
I can't have fun when nothing happens. So, Feyre, as we have said, has come back to her family.
In the human world.
And, while Bad Boy McBadman was there, he asked Feyre what her name was. And again, in one of the few intelligent decisions she made, she did not say her name. She said the name of some neighbors. When she gets back to the human world, turns out her neighbor's house is burned down.
And that they're all, like, dead and gone.
That's crazy. So she goes, hey, that was my bad, and books it back to the fairy world.
Yes.
Where
she also has had that final conversation with her sister that was not glamored and is like, hey, let me tell you everything that happened. And also, there's like a weird ball for some reason that occurs that was very like Jane Austen-y. And I was like, what is this doing in here? That belongs in a different romance book.
There was a ball?
I don't think that we spent very much time, but there was at least preparation for a ball.
Okay.
And I was just like, we've now teleported into Jane Austen land. I don't understand. She doesn't understand either, because she leaves. She goes back to Tamlin, finds like the mansion is deserted and things are torn up and, you know, the gates are torn off the hinges and all of this, right? And then she finds one of the maids who exposition dumps.
So much exposition dumps.
And explains like all of the things that this huge backstory about, what's her name? The unnamed her. She has a name. Amarantha. Yes. She's bad. She hates humans.
Yes.
There's a whole backstory to that.
She fought a bunch of humans. She has a human eye on a ring that still lives.
Yes. Because it's tied to the human soul.
Yeah, some nonsense like that.
Yes. Anyway.
I was okay. That was cool. I liked that part. That was fun. So
you were like, finally something bad is happening.
So Feyre decides, okay, I gotta go rescue Tamlin. Turns out Tamlin...
Because he's in the Night Court.
No, he's not. He's under the mountain.
Oh, correct.
Get right. Capital U, capital M, under the mountain. Which is where Amarantha resides.
Yes.
Turns out she has all of the High Lord's power trapped somehow.
Yes.
Because she does. And she's holding them all hostage, killing wantonly, raising up forces to go fight the humans again.
Yes, she wants to take over the world.
She had a deal with Tamlin that if he would get her power back if he could get a mortal woman to fall in love with him, but only a mortal woman that hated the Fae.
And like killed one.
I was getting there. You gotta let me talk, girl.
Okay.
So Tamlin has a deal with Amarantha that he will get his power back if he gets a human woman to fall in love with him, but only a human woman. And I would just want to say, this is the order this is explained to you in the book. She goes, Tamlin had a deal to get his power back if a human woman falls in love with him, but only a human woman that really hates the Fae. Oh, and by the way, we can only know they hate the Fae if they kill a High Fae. Oh, but also it has to be one of your High Fae that they kill. And so it's just that read as a bunch of and then.
And also within a certain time period.
It was 7 and 7 days or 7 and 7 years.
I don't remember.
It was something like that.
There was a artsy way of saying a long time.
Correct.
And basically when he sent Feyre back home, he said I love you and she didn't say I love you, and if she had said I love you, it would have solved everything and the spell, the curse would have been broken and everything would have been freed and Amarantha would have all of this, but she didn't. And she went home, and then it was like 3 days later was like the end of like the time period, and that's how like boom, Tamlin's under the mountain. Everybody that he cares about, like everybody's there being tortured and or controlled.
Yeah. So Feyre decides, I'm gonna go rescue Tamlin. I'm gonna go and profess my love for him. Classic, gotta get to the airport scene. You know, calls a cab, tells him to book it, and this cab takes her to a hole in the ground. And, okay, it's not a cab, it's the servant she found. The servant who's been here the whole book, who has no personality traits.
I love that the servant is like, don't go here, don't make a deal, don't do... like, Feyre just does. It's so clumsy foreshadowing.
The servant takes her to this hole in the ground and says, hey, this is a shortcut to under the mountain. Literally says this is a shortcut to under the mountain.
Yes.
Feyre, she also gives her a warning, don't make any deals, don't drink any wine.
Yes.
Don't... there's some third thing that wasn't poetic, and I'm like, why wouldn't you make the third thing? Okay, whatever.
Just let it go.
Because they're not good fairies. She took all the fun out of fairies. Feyre takes one step into this hole and immediately gets captured.
Yes.
And dragged to the court under the mountain.
Yes.
Or in under the mountain. Where she is told by Amarantha who has Tamlin sitting next to her because Amarantha also wants Tamlin.
Oh yeah, that's like the biggest thing is that Amarantha desperately wants Tamlin to be
a whore.
Yeah, that is much nicer than the term I was going to use. She's I guess also nicer than the term I was going to use.
What were you going to call him?
We can move on from this.
Okay.
Basically, she is. I don't know if is this like a harem situation? Like she wants
kind of so
bad boy McGee, but she also wants Tamlin.
She currently has Bad Boy McGee.
Yes, but is she collecting or is she like trading?
I think she wanted Tamlin because
She wanted Tamlin from way before.
Because it turns out they were childhood friends.
Yes.
Tamlin's dad really liked her dad. They were buds.
Yes.
Some nonsense like that.
Again, there's history here.
Yeah.
Bottom line, she wants Tamlin. Tamlin's like, nah.
Also, so we finally get a hint of adventure. And this is page fucking 300 of the book that we finally get anything happen. Oh.
There have been things that happen.
Oh no, there's a monster, but don't look at it. Just stand here. The only way to defeat this monster is by standing still and doing nothing.
Okay.
Don't
we're here.
test me.
She has an eye ring.
Yes.
That has an eyeball in it.
That's really cool. Oh, it turns out she tortured and killed the other the girl who Feyre gave her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the disguised name. Turns out she found her, tortured her, and killed her.
And she's like hanging up on the wall.
Feyre does not give a shit about that at all.
Okay, she reacts.
There's one sentence. There's one sentence where she goes, "No, I'm not gonna let her win. Clara didn't die in vain."
I will admit.
Like, never, and it's like, they make a point of saying, okay, she's like crucified on the wall with burns all over her body and lacerations, which also... Again, this just comes from reading Warhammer. Be creative with your torture, guys. Again, they want to show us the grimdark, and we come off of a book where a woman is shipped to her dad in a barrel of piss. And they say, oh, she's just nailed to a wall. Come on, you can do better.
I will admit Amarantha was not that terrifying.
No!
I thought she was kind of predictable and shallow as a villain.
Amarantha was a cartoon villain.
Yes, I really was. Like, if she had been a man, she would have been twiddling her mustache.
100%. That's how it sounded. There's so much Amarantha does that is just, like... So Amarantha says, okay, you have to complete 3 trials. Mm-hmm.
Or solve this riddle.
And the riddle is nonsense. Which is beside the point. Like, I read the riddle and I'm like, this is nothing. There's going to be some stupid poetic answer to this that doesn't make any sense. And I was correct.
Surprise.
So, Feyre agrees to perform these trials in order to free Tamlin.
Yes.
And immediately gets the shit beaten out of her.
Yes.
For some reason. Just because. And then tossed in a jail cell while she awaits her first trial.
Yes.
Where Lucian comes and heals her because he can do what he wants. The
Fae have many powers.
They do have many powers.
That are just sometimes a little too convenient.
Yes. And she is brought before the court again to face her first trial. Mm-hmm. Which...
It's being tossed in a mud labyrinth.
And being chased by a giant worm.
Which I, again, am literally just picturing the sandworms from Dune.
I pictured... I thought it was more like... I'm trying to think. I know I've seen it.
Like a giant grub?
That kind of thing. Kind of. I was thinking more like Tremors.
Which I have not seen.
Yeah, that's fair. We should watch Tremors.
We should.
You'll hate it.
It's a
great
compelling
movie.
reason to watch.
We just hate read an entire book, okay?
You're not wrong.
So she, through, protagonist energy, manages to defeat this worm.
It's true.
And Amarantha's all mad about that, sends her back to her cell.
She also gets very injured.
Oh yeah, like a bone sticking out of her arm.
So like, super bad injured. And then her entire plan is, I'm going to lay here in this jail cell and wait for Lucian to come heal me. Which he can't do because he's got to lay low.
Because plot. Because we need to set up a sequel. Because Bad Boy McBadman shows up. and says, hey, I will heal your arm, but only if you come to my house for 2 weeks every month.
Yeah.
Which she eventually negotiates down to 1 week every month, so we know how the next book is gonna go. It's just gonna be her going back and forth between the two.
Are we also gonna mention the fact that he licks the tears off of her face?
Yeah, that was weird. He's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Still hotter than Tamlin, though.
Valid.
So he proceeds to have this influence over her. Part of her deal is she gets these tattoos over her arm, which are some sick tattoos. I love she gets like this cat eye on her palm, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then Tamlin gets this magic paint on her and a kind of slutty dress.
Not Tamlin.
Not Tamlin.
Bad Boy McGee.
Bad Boy McBadman.
He starts a thing.
Yeah.
Where he has these other fairy chicks come and like paint her whole body with body paint, except for her face where she's got like the glam makeup. And then like this like barely there dress that's also like see-through.
Because of course it is.
Because of course it is. And then like basically I guess fairies just like party every night.
Yeah.
And get super wasted and dance around.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he does, is he has her dressed up like this and then drinks the fairy wine and makes her do like slutty dance for everybody and lap dance, whatever. And she doesn't really remember, but she's super ashamed. And this is like every night, right?
Yes.
And and part of it is to show, I guess, that he like owns her because he's trying to tick off Tamlin on purpose. But he's also like super careful to only touch her arms and her waist. So because also we have to establish him as a secondary love interest at this point. And also
he used to be friends with Tamlin, right?
I don't remember. I think so.
Or they were like
battle
buddies or some nonsense.
Battle buddies, I think, would be a better.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically he is also. Oh, and he also makes it super clear that like he could force her to be his sex slave, but look at him, he's not.
But there is a point, is because he gets called
Amarantha's
whore constantly, and he is a whore for her. So his whole thing is like, it's done to me, so I won't do it to you. Which
definitely makes him a good guy and definitely completely erases the other things that he's doing to her.
Correct. All of the murder and torture and all of that, and the, snapping people's brains, because he has brain powers.
He has brain powers. I was talking more about the whole every night humiliating her in front of everyone like...
That's fine. Because he has to do it to tick off Tamlin. It's all part of the plan.
Anyway, so then she has another trial.
What was the second? I already forgot it. I read this literally today.
The trial was the one with the words, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. So there
was one where it was like Lucian was going to be crushed if she didn't read, like she had 3 options, like which lover will save him, and she has to read the answer. And yeah, Bad Boy McGee uses his mind powers to tell her the right answer.
Bad solution to that. It's such a Deus Ex Machina. Like, it was getting interesting. Oh, she doesn't know how to read. Lucian is screaming at her to just pick one.
Yes.
And, like...
And then you undercut all of the tension. By having him...
Just tell her.
Nudge her.
Yes.
Where she, like, reaches for one and it's like, oh, no, that one's painful. I can't pull that one. Like, oh, I'm going to go to this one. No, I can't do that one.
Not only... Okay. So, our brilliant protagonist here... So she has this eye on her palm. She reads the riddle, realizes she can't read it in time, is just gonna have to pick one. The eye is blinking on her palm, gives her an indication, hey, there's something going on here.
Yes.
Reaches to lever number 1, pain. Reaches to lever number 2, pain. And these are labeled literally 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
In the book. Reaches to lever 3, no pain. Then just to make sure, she has to do it a second time and reach to every single one. While the clock is ticking and Lucian is about to be crushed.
Yes.
It's fine.
That was just our experience reading, is like one of us would have the book and we'd hear the other one like heavy sigh and be like, what? Constantly. And be like, no, I'm not talking about it right now.
We gotta wait.
Yes. And then there's a third trial. Oh yeah, the third trial.
Oh yeah.
Which is... There's 3 people, and they've got hoods on them. 3 fae folk.
Yeah.
And they've got hoods on them, And all she has to do, if she can't solve the riddle, because that's still been on the table this whole time, is just stab these 3 innocent, unnamed people.
Which she does with no hesitation.
She has a little hesitation.
There's barely any hesitation.
There is relatively small amounts of hesitation.
No guilt, no hesitation. Like, even, so the third one, first 2 are complete strangers. Takes the hood off. The third one turns out to be Tamlin. And she's like, I can't stab Tamlin. But then she's like, oh wait, yeah I can, and then stabs him.
Okay, there is a reason, because then
he's got a heart of stone.
Yes, she basically flips back through her memory and all the overheard whispered conversations that she's heard between Lucien and Tamlin when she was living at the mansion. Because again, as part of the exposition drop that we have learned, part of the curse was that they weren't allowed to directly tell her anything, but they had found this workaround where they could have their own like whispered conversations, and if she happened to overhear them, oh, well, we didn't tell her. Anyway, and in a couple of those, I guess they'd been like, oh, your heart of stone. And so she stabs Tamlin because she's like, he's got a heart of stone.
Mm-hmm.
And it hits the stone in his heart. And he's fine.
Yep.
And he gets his power back.
No.
What?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
Because Feyre turns around and goes, see, I did it. And Amarantha goes, yeah, but I didn't say I'd release him right now.
Yes.
I only said it would be immediate if you did the riddle. And clearly you can't do the riddle, so ha. And it's, again, very cartoon villain. Mm-hmm. Ha ha. I found the workaround that isn't really a workaround.
Yes.
Which would be fine if they set up this precedent that this is how fairies operate at any point earlier in the book, but they never do. There is not a single, like, tricksy deal or, like, backhanded deal that is made the entirety of the rest of the book.
They do talk about them.
Constantly, but they never do them. Again, we tell, don't show in this book. And so they're all bummed out. They're mad. Feyre is like, but wait, there's the riddle. And she thinks about the riddle for approximately 3 seconds longer than she had before and goes, it must be love is the answer. And guess what? Love's the fucking answer to this stupid riddle.
That, by the way, she's had like multiple weeks laid in a jail cell to think about.
Yes. She is also this riddle, like, if you're gonna make it a poem,
it should
make it work. Like, the meter is all off the entire time. It doesn't make any sense. It sounds so dumb.
I know.
Especially the last line. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay.
So.
Oh, and after that, she solves the riddle. Tamlin rips Amarantha apart in, like, no time.
Yeah.
Everybody gets their powers back.
Yeah.
Oh, but somebody snapped Feyre's neck.
I don't Oh, I think she got like thrown. It doesn't matter.
She died,
but then she is resurrected
as a High Fae.
Apparently, if all the High Fae lords get together, they can bestow this gift of she's now High Fae and she is no longer immortal. She's not even just like, oh, you're a fairy now. It's like, no, you are of the highest class of fairies.
Right. The most powerful of the most powerful.
Yes.
And then she has about a page of having a Bella Swan, I'm a vampire moment. Mm-hmm. And then the book ends. Yeah.
But again, we do have the setup for book 2 because we know, again, she promised to go spend a week of every month with Bad Boy McGee. Yep. And Tamlin's just like, we'll figure it out. Would you like to know what I've heard occurs in book 2?
Yes.
So I did a tiny bit of digging and read a whole bunch of like reviews on Goodreads, which some of them are absolutely hysterical and I highly recommend. Because you have people who love it and people who hate it, and the swing between the two is gold.
Sure.
Apparently in book 2, she and Tamlin break up.
And she goes to live with Bad Boy McBadman? Of course she does.
And there are people feel varying ways about this, but if the fan art on Tumblr has anything to say about it, Tamlin's like the worst thing to ever exist, and Bad Boy Make Bad Boy is just so hot.
Okay, so we're not about Tamlin. We're about Bad Boy McBadman.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
We're not going
Right.
to talk about the fact that he is like a manipulative, horrible psychopath.
No. Yeah, but he's cool.
He's hot and he has wings.
He's got bat wings.
He has bat wings.
They're pointedly bat wings, even though his whole thing is I like birds.
They might have been bird wings.
No, they said bat wings.
Okay. I don't remember this.
Very pointedly said bat wings, because they have the 2 claws. They mentioned the claws. Like, you know, the claws that go the other way, and those, you know what I mean?
Anyhow,
Yeah.
so that's the book.
We had a great time. All right.
We have stepped out of our comfort zone. I'm proud of us.
Me too.
We weren't positive in this review.
Not even remotely, which hopefully will be more positive with the next one.
We'll see.
We do not plan on every episode being this scathing. We hope to enjoy some of the books we read.
Yes, because the emphasis for us is not just to read outside of our comfort zone. That's some of it.
Mhm.
And some of it is just to actually sit down and read the books that we keep saying that we want to read.
Correct. Because we have them. They're on our shelves.
They're right there. I can see them
right there.
with my eyes.
So let's do our personal scores.
2.
And we're doing out of 5, right?
Yes. So out of 5 stars, I
Mhm.
give this 2.
I also give it a 2.
It is far from the worst book I have ever read,
Mm-hmm.
but it is also very far from the best book I have ever read.
It is, if you want some cotton candy.
Yes.
If you like romance, if you like these kind of like romancy and these kind of
If you
books,
liked Fourth Wing and you didn't want to throw that book at the wall, A Court of Thorn and Roses is for you.
yes. Oh Lord,
I shouldn't say that so sarcastically, but
it's fine. People like but people can have some similar criticisms about our 500-page high fantasy novels that spend 3 pages talking about how the currency breaks down.
speak for. I mean, yes. I was also about to say 500 pages. That's a lightweight.
That's fair.
Oh gosh, we sound pretentious.
Yes, we do. I like big books, and I cannot lie.
So yes, 2 stars. 2 stars for A Court of Thorn and Roses. Kudos.
Or
Though
will we
to
have our Goodreads set up by the time this comes out?
We will have a Goodreads,
Sweet.
so you can look at all of the books that we have liked and hated.
Yes, link should be in the description if I did
Yes.
my job correctly.
Yeah, kudos to Sarah J. Maas though for
Absolutely.
creating a world that has become incredibly popular. I know I have heard from reputable sources that her other series, Throne of Glass, is significantly better
Okay,
than this.
sure.
So maybe this was a poor choice on our part, but
Sure.
whatever.
That's part of it.
Look, I've seen this cover so many times that I was just like, sure.
Right.
It's popular. Let's
Yeah.
read something popular for once.
See it constantly, everywhere.
Yes.
And again, if you like this, no insult to you. We all like our... It is okay to like bad art.
That's true.
That is something I harp on constantly. Fully believe you should be okay liking bad art. So...
I definitely have art that I like that is... It's like when I showed you the movie Demolition Man.
Yes.
And I prefaced with, this is not a good movie,
Uh-huh.
but this is a really fun bad movie.
Absolutely. You need those every once in a while.
Mhm.
So, I guess next month?
Next month, we will be doing a classic, which isn't exactly a genre, but
Listen,
it kind of is. This is we chose this because we have books on our list that we want to read,
Yes.
and this is the excuse. So we chose a classic, and both of us for several months now have been talking about rereading the Odyssey, and especially you because you love.
I adore the Odyssey.
So, and I in particular wanted to read a more recent translation that I had heard really changes certain aspects of the story in that it's the translation by Emily Wilson, and I've heard that it's the first translation of the Odyssey by a woman, and it changes some of the aspects of the story, particularly in relation to the female characters. So I'm excited. It's been forever since I've read the Odyssey, like
Same.
high school.
Right.
So yeah.
But yeah, if you enjoyed this, hey, give us a review on whatever platform you're listening to this on. hit subscribe so you can get notifications. We are doing this only once a month
Yes,
because we can only read so fast.
true.
Yeah, and tell a friend about it.
We promise we won't hate on every single book.
Well, you promise that. I make no such promises. I promise to hate on every single book.
Okay, let's be real. So will I. But hopefully we will be more positive
Yes.
about the Odyssey.
Farewell.